The Fairy Who Lost Her Wings. Long ago, in a glimmering realm hidden beyond the veil of the northern lights, there existed a land called Luminara. This was a place where the trees shimmered with silver leaves, the rivers sang lullabies, and moonflowers bloomed even during the day. Among the enchanted creatures who called Luminara home were the winged fairies, guardians of light and keepers of dreams. In a grove made of crystal petals and soft moss lived a young fairy named Elira. Elira was unlike any other fairy, not because her wings sparkled brighter or because her laughter echoed longer, but because of her heart. She was curious, adventurous, and full of wonder. While most fairies spent their days tending to dream gardens or painting morning dew, Elira often wandered to the edges of Luminara, staring out at the mysterious mortal world below. "It is forbidden," the elder fairy warned her. "Our wings are bound to this realm. If you cross into the world of humans, you may never return." But Elira's curiosity was a wildfire that could not be tamed. One twilight, when the sky was painted in hues of rose and lavender, Elira found a silver thread floating in the air. It shimmered with the light of 1,000 stars, and as she touched it, it tugged her gently forward. Entranced, Elira followed the thread through the forest, past the singing rivers and glowing trees, until she found herself at the edge of Luminara. There, a hidden passage opened, lined with whispering winds and petals of light. Without hesitation, Elira stepped through. The world she entered was unlike anything she had imagined. The colors were duller, the air heavier, and the sounds harsher. Still, she found it beautiful in its own way. The laughter of children, the scent of fresh-baked bread, the twinkling lights of the city at night. She fluttered unseen, spreading forgotten bits of magic, mending a cracked toy here, guiding a lost puppy home there. The humans never saw her, but they felt the warmth of her presence and smiled without knowing why. Days turned into weeks, and Elira's heart grew fonder of the human world. But one morning, as she tried to rise from a garden bed of marigolds, she felt a weight in her back. Her wings would not move. Panic surged through her. She rushed to a mirror-like pond and gasped. Her wings, once radiant and full, were now dull and lifeless. Her time in the human world had severed her bond to Luminara. The elder fairy's warning echoed in her mind. Tears welled in her eyes as she wandered the streets, now invisible even to herself. She longed for home, for the wind beneath her wings, for the laughter of her kin. But the thread that had led her here was gone. One cold night, as frost painted the windows and the stars blinked like distant candles, Elira curled beneath a wooden bench in a quiet park. There, she was found by a little girl named Liana. Liana had always believed in fairies. She could feel Elira's sorrow and offered her a sugar cookie and a warm pocket. Though she could not see her, Liana whispered, "You're not alone. I believe in you." That night, something stirred in Elira's heart. A light, faint but growing, pulsed within her. She realized that while her wings had faded, her magic had not. And maybe, just maybe, the love of a child could rekindle what was lost. Elira began to weave her magic into Liana's dreams, telling her stories of Luminara, guiding her to be kind, brave, and curious. In return, Liana began to leave gifts, acorns, drawings, tiny poems, for the unseen fairy. Years passed. Liana grew into a young woman, and her dreams never faded. She studied the stars, wrote tales of wonder, and inspired others to believe in magic. On the eve of her 20th birthday, Liana found herself walking alone beneath the northern lights. There, in a field of blooming moonflowers, she felt a warm wind circle her. Elira stood before her, visible at last, her wings aglow with light born not from Luminara, but from love, belief and hope. "You brought me back," Elira said, tears of joy sparkling like stardust. "You believed when I could not." "Magic never dies," Liana whispered. "It only needs to be remembered." From that day on, Elira chose to stay, not as a fairy bound by realm or wing, but as a guardian of those who dared to dream. She became the muse of storytellers, the sparkle in a child's eye, the whisper of wind on a quiet night. And though she never returned to Luminara, her light never dimmed. For sometimes, the greatest wings are not those made of gossamer and light, but those woven from courage, love, and the belief that even the smallest magic can change the world.